Alright, what is up? Welcome back to Super Recaps. And the Dallas Mavericks are going into the offseason losing to the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. And this is going to be a huge offseason for Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks because this is a offseason that could really push them to becoming the NBA champions in 2025. It's going to be big for this team, and Nico Harrison really stepped his game up for this offseason. First of all, signing Najee Marshall and Klay Thompson. And for Klay Thompson, a sign and trade, but for signing Najee Marshall as a kind of a depth piece defensively after losing Derrick Jones Jr. in free agency. Getting a great defender, Najee Marshall, was a big move by Nico Harrison. A really good one, and I think he actually is a better defender than Derrick Jones Jr. from the research I did. He is a better defender, and I think that's going to be great for this roster in this upcoming season. And we got to give it up to Nico Harrison for this one. Getting Klay Thompson in a sign and trade is going to be big for this franchise and Luka Doncic's legacy, because you get Luka, his third star, beside him and Kyrie, and it's going to be big. I think this is going to be the X factor that I think the Mavericks were missing in the finals against the Celtics, and I feel like getting Klay Thompson is going to be big. Hopefully he doesn't go 0 for 10 for us like his last game in Golden State. Hopefully Jason Kidd's bald aura will help him not go, and I repeat, to not go, please. I really do not want this man, Klay Thompson, to go 0 for 10 for this team, and this team's going to get clowned all over the place. And Luka's going to be like, it's just going to be, Tim Hardaway Jr. 2.0. And speaking of Tim Hardaway Jr., that man got banished to Detroit. Nico Harrison is a demon for that. That is insane that we just dropped that man in Detroit. We did get a good return, though. We got picks, and we got Quentin Grimes, who will be a great bench piece for the future. And it's going to be great for the team going forward, and definitely a move that will I think, will put this team over the top. And I think it will add a lot more offensive depth to a lineup that really needed it, especially coming off, minutes that don't have Kyrie and Luka. And I think getting more depth offensively, obviously having players already like, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Jaden Hardy, great moves. A good bench so far, but we do need a bit more, and Quentin Grimes does add to that a lot. I think that this is something that the team really needed, and I think Nico Harrison fixed a lot of the issues that this team already had going into this offseason, and already the problems that were kind of exposed by the Celtics in the finals, and I think he really addressed it in this offseason so far. All right, I want to talk about next is the people that we got rid of to acquire a Najee Marshall, Klay Thompson, and a Quentin Grimes. And I would like to, start off this to talk about, Mavericks legend, but also kind of a Mavericks, annoyance. Let's say as in a Tim Hardaway Jr., a player that I was begging. If you see my videos during the finals, I was begging this man to play. I was begging in the videos to get Jason Kidd to play Tim Hardaway Jr. more, and I kind of regret saying that during the finals, because he did not really add that much offensively, especially when the Mavericks really needed him. He was really bad. I know he has a record for most threes in a game in the finals, but that was in garbage minutes, so it doesn't really matter. But I love how the Mavericks even knew that too, so they just traded him to Detroit. Again, that is absolutely crazy work by Nico Harrison by dropping him in Detroit. That is insane that he just did that again. Nico Harrison's a demon, and I repeat, a demon for that. This guy Nico Harrison just knows it, man. He's just different. He's just different, man. He's not Donnie Nelson, man. This guy's different. That's it. Getting rid of Josh Green was kind of sad, though. I was a big Josh Green believer, and he was really good in the elimination game in the finals. It's just, I'm guessing they wanted to clear up some cap space to bring in a Najee Marshall and Klay Thompson, I guess, and also give space to Quentin Grimes too. Pretty good overall, pretty good offseason so far in my opinion. I would give the Mavericks if I was going to give them a rating, I would give them like an A. An A, because I do think they address a lot of the issues. Definitely not perfect, because I do think the perimeter defense isn't going to be the best, but if Klay Thompson can just be like a decent help defender, I think. And this offseason, I'm in this season because a lot of people are kind of concerned about Klay Thompson's kind of like regression as a defender, and I am too. But I think the signing of a Najee Marshall, I think, is there to address that issue, because it seems like they can slot in Najee Marshall into the lineup, at least not like starting the game, but throughout the game, kind of staggering the lineups throughout the game to play Najee Marshall instead of Klay Thompson in like maybe in like the late third quarter, early fourth quarter kind of, and they could put in Klay Thompson at the end for offense. But it seems like they might do some like the small ball lineups, maybe take out PJ Washington sometimes. I think it makes the team more dynamic and gives Jason Kidd more options in crunch time, especially in the fourth quarter, and even just in the playoffs, like, because I feel like Jason Kidd didn't really have that much to go to outside of a Derrick Jones Jr. play or a play for Jaden Hardy. Sometimes when he would get some minutes, rarely, but he would get some minutes sometimes. And it seems like the issue with the Mavericks was definitely the offensive depth, and it was a lot of Luka and Kyrie carrying this team, which I feel like is a big running theme throughout Luka's career, just being like the reason why the Mavericks are so successful, at least to this point, has been just because how good Luka Doncic is, and that's just not winning formula, especially in today's NBA. And I got to end this video off by giving credit to my glorious king, the GOAT himself, Nico Harrison, because this guy really cooked. And I feel like every season since he became GM, the Mavericks have built a great team around Luka and have consistently gotten better during every offseason and has made, the right moves as the front office. And, and maybe you could say, oh, they lost Brunson free agency, but they got Kyrie at the trade deadline after that offseason. So, he always wins. He's just that guy. He's him. He's Himothy. Nico Harrison is better than your own GM. Call me a Glazer. Call me whatever you want to call me. But Nico Harrison knows what to do. Maybe the only other GM I would say is maybe Masai and Bobby in Toronto. But everyone else, I feel like, people keep talking about Sam Presti, all that stuff. But I feel like this team is closer, and obviously Luka's better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I just gotta put that out there. Sorry to Shai fans, but Luka's the GOAT. All right, overall a pretty good offseason so far. I'll make more videos if more stuff comes out, so I'll see you then. All right, I'm Jalen, and this has been Syrup Recaps.